very important area of research that we discussed in first lecture about that what is the concept of research, and then we discuss the kinds of research, and then we discuss about that how to identify a problem, then we discuss how to formulate a problem, and yesterday we discussed about that how to do a gap analysis from the survey of literature. Now we'll discuss about that how to cite the literature survey and then how to set the objective and scope for the research. So there are a lot of methods in the world about the citation. You'll be following in the your research citation as well as in the bibliographic citations. Same way, if you are doing any survey of literature, you have to write that which literature you have surveyed, whether it was article, whether it was a case or textbook, or it is now also the website resources, online journals. So you have to write the citation and then write few lines about that. What was the finding about that particular literature review? You may get zero material, or you get 10%, 20%, 30%, or you can directly focus also that what was your the finding in that particular literature review. So there are different methods of citation. You can also, what we do generally, we have to once we write the methodology of research, we have to also mention that what is my method of research. So from the very beginning, you start following any of the methods. So anybody has liberty to follow any methods. So there are very well-known methods in the world. Most common in India is the ILI method, that is the Indian Institute. They follow very normal, very simple method of the citation. Then we have a modern language method mostly followed for the non-legal research, social science research. Then we have this Oxford model. So Oxford University, they have a structured model for the citation methods, and most famous, most common, most important is the Blue Book model, that we say Harvard method. So I suggest all of you please try to learn the Harvard methods. Maybe after some time in the lecture we'll discuss one day about how to cite the Harvard methods, or we also say that Blue Book model. Why I'm saying, because almost all the top class journals, all the famous authors, top class books, they generally cite in the Blue Book model. And why Blue Book model? Because this is one of the very latest and very advanced. So currently there is 22nd edition is now this implemented, and every time once a new thing will come, this method will provide the way for the citation. For example, till now there are a lot of methods not have come up with the formula that how to cite a website, how to cite a web resources, because citing a web resources, citing the website, even currently you can also cite the WhatsApp. Anything you got on the WhatsApp, you can also cite that how you refer a WhatsApp citation. So day by day we are going to have lot of the platform where you can get the material, and you must know that how to cite, because unless and until you cite the actual resource, actual address, your research may not be foolproof. So in research, citation is one of the very important aspects, and you have to follow a particular method of citation. And then once you follow a method, you have to follow in the entire thesis or entire dissertation, entire research work. You cannot have liberty to mix and match a model, because generally what will happen, you will be taking material from different resources, and sometime people will start citing the material they have taken. So you have gone through 10 books, 10 articles. These 10 books may have followed different methods, and once you are writing your literature survey, you cannot just copy and paste and then follow the mixed methods. So book number 1, 2 followed suppose modern language method, and third, fourth followed the Blue Book model, and fifth, sixth followed the Oxford methods. Once you are writing the literature review, you cannot follow their methods. You have to decide your methods and start following. What I'm suggesting all of you, please from the very beginning learn at least one method, that is Blue Book model, or we also say Harvard methods. This is one of the very best methods in the world, because all the top class material are cited in this method, and this method has the method of citation of any work. So every year, in fact every 1 or 2 year, they come out with the new citation methods. It is not generally new, it is new edition. For example, when there was no WhatsApp, there was no website, no internet, it was not required that how to cite the material from the internet. But currently, because we have the material coming very fast on the You can get something on email, or something you can get on the Google search, something you can get the online search engine, something on the you can get on the WhatsApp. So you should know how to cite. You get something from the cases, so how to cite a case. Sometime you got a material that was not published. It was somebody's thesis kept in the library. It was not published work. You are citing unpublished work. So my point is that you should know that how to cite any material from different resources, and you should learn at least one methods that you follow. So once you do a literature review, you may have gone through 50 resources, but once you write in your literature review, you have to cite in a particular method, and then you start the citation, that what was the content, what you got in that particular citation. Now the next point is that how to set up the objective and scope for the research. So these are the introductory classes we are doing right now about this entire research process. Going forward, we will be also going in further details about these areas to get more clarity and more kind of understanding. So how to set the objective and scope for the research, that you have to find out that how to set up the objective, because objective will be deciding your research, what object you want to achieve. So one object is very clear, that the moment there is some kind of research, it means that some problems are there and you want to solve the problem, but the problem solution is will also be a different kind of solutions. So I told in my initial lectures that even for the COVID-19, everybody will try to solve this problem by different kind of domains. You are a lawyer, you are doing a research as a law professional, you may be trying to solve the COVID-19 problem from legal perspective, that people are losing the jobs, people are getting less salary, people are fired, their promotion is stopped, DA is not given, there are tax issues. So there are a lot of legal regulation issues. Somebody is doing as a medical student, he will be seeing that from the epidemiology's perspective, that as an epidemiologist, you can do research, because the disease will grow, maybe some particular kind of the this ratio, and this disease will be growing some different level of the growth. And also that it is infectious disease, or it is communicable disease, or it is a uh, it is going through the mosquito or by the human being. So it has a lot of perspective of the medical science. Somebody economist may also do the research of the economics perspective. So my point is that once you're going to set the objective, you have to set the objective depending from your domain. So you are a lawyer doing some research on some problems, you will be setting the objective from the legal perspective, that what object you want to achieve. Or sometimes there is no law, so you want your objective is that you want to set a particular proper regulation, so there will not be violations of the legal and rights of the people. Or if there is problem of the process and procedure is there, because there is no procedure and process to file the dispute, where to file the dispute, where to file the case, how to resolve the disputes. So you may going to find out a particular process for solving the disputes. So this way, once you're going to set the objective, and also the objective and scope are always relevant. So depending on your objective, you have to set the scope. So scope is kind of limitations. So whether your study is limited to particular place, particular locality, particular district, state, country, or different countries, depending on your objective and scope. If your object is that you want to solve the problem from all over the world, in that case you may do a global study. You may go and find out that how to solve the problem from the global level. I want to remove the entire problem from the world, and sometime you're focusing to a particular particular area. So suppose somebody is doing a research in the corporate law, and he is doing the shareholders democracy, that how the shareholders will be having their right to control the behavior of the companies. So in that case, he may do a kind of a case study. So you as a researcher, you do this problem in a company. You target a particular company, and then you want to solve the problem that company. So you know that Reliance is a very big group, and they have a lot of companies. So Reliance is a flagship company. They have a lot of subsidiaries and a lot of different sectors are there, so they may have 20 companies. So you want to solve the problems of shareholder democracy in Reliance Group. Okay, so you'll be doing research for 20 companies, or you can further narrow down. You want to do a research of the shareholder democracy in Jio mobile phones. You know, Jio is a company, and they have lot of and they listed company in the stock exchange, the Reliance Group, Infotech. So you can. So my point is that you can do a very focused, very percolated, direct research, or you can, your objective can be a group, or can be a country, or maybe several countries around the world. So this shareholder democracy, your objective can be a particular company, a group of companies, or to particular locality. You want to say that what is the shareholder democracy in Indian perspective, in Indian corporate setup in India? What is the shareholder democracy, or Asian country, or European country, or African countries, or the South Asian countries? So you can set your objective, and depending on the objective also you can set your scope. So if your objective is very limited, so also your scope will be very limited, uh, because scope will decide the limitations. So if your objective is to settle the democracy in the particular state or particular country or particular group of companies, then your scope is very limited. So once you are going to collect data, if your target was that you want to do a shareholder democracy in Reliance group of the companies, in that case you have to collect data, do survey of literature only for the data available for Reliance group of companies. You are not going to collect data for Tata, or maybe Philips, or NTPC, or maybe IBM, other companies, because you're very clear. Your objective is to analyze the shareholder democracy in the Reliance group of companies. So your data is now only Reliance, and your scope is very limited. Your scope of research is only Reliance group of companies. And then uh, how to set the scope now? Because already you decided the problem. What is the problem? I just quoted today the kind of the example of shareholder democracy. Why want democracy? Because all the shareholders may be also the members, so they invested money in the company. Why democracy? They should also have certain right to decide the policies, programs, decisions of the company. Because if company will take a wrong decision and company will be losing money, ultimately shareholders are also losing money, because they are the investors in the company. Their money is at stake. So up to what extent they are allowed to take part in decision making process of the company? So shareholders, some shareholders are some members, and those members have voting rights. So by the voting, if they have some challenge, they can organize for the voting, and they can, by voting, they can decide which action of the company is required, which is not required. So that's why shareholder democracy is one of the very important aspect of the corporate setup, corporate structure, where the company will be running for the benefits of the shareholders, because the investors, they will not be losing the money. And that's why object and scopes are always very uh, kind of the correlative. So anyone have any question, or what do you understand about that, why we should set the objective and scope? Because
Sir,
yeah.
sir, I do have a question. I
Yes.
failed to understand exactly what is the difference between objective and scope. Objective, obviously, I got what is the meaning of objective, the final result which we want to achieve through this research, right? But
Yeah.
exactly what the scope is, I am failed to understand that. So, can you please explain the scope of research? I mean, how should we
Okay.
decide
So
what should be the scope of research?
yeah. So for example, suppose you are trying to decide the question of doing LLM. Okay, is a problem for you whether I should do LLM or should not do LLM. A problem for you. Now you want to first set that why you want to do an LLM. What is the objective of doing LLM? So your objective is that you want to raise your understanding of knowledge of law, legal principles. You want to have a master degree. You want to feel confident. You are highly learned person. You are PG holder. You will write on your visiting cards. You will be pasting a kind of the signboard at your house. You will feel very happy, confident. But what is the scope? Up to what extent this LLM degree can be utilized? So scope, now scope is that you can also become a teacher, professor. You can also become kind of, you can get more privileges by promotions in the companies. Okay, because they may prefer you being a master degree holder. If any senior position of management is there, you may be preferred. Okay, and after doing LLM, you may also have a chance to go for a PhD work. So your scope is now limited. After doing LLM, you cannot take the job of the engineer or doctor. Okay, or you cannot be teacher of every subject. So
Got
your
it, sir.
scope is limited. So objective is that kind of the why you want to do something, and then scope is that up to what extent that particular this problem you are going to solve. Okay, so I think you may be able to understand the objective and scope.
Much relatable, sir. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else, any question?
No, sir. Thank
Eileen, are you able to understand the objective and scope?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because what happens generally, as a human nature, we generally do not able to filter out and have very streamlined objectives and also the scope. So because once your objectives are very clear, you will be able to do a better work in your research. And objective will also be depending on scope. For example, if anybody is doing a dissertation work, because all of you will be writing a dissertation after during LLM program in the last semester. So your scope, and somebody, you may take a same topic, and somebody who is doing PhD may also take a same topic. Okay, objective, your objective is that you want to do a research as a requirement for the fulfillment of the award of the degree of LLM. Okay, and somebody doing PhD, his also objective is that he want to do a research to fulfillment of the award of the doctoral work. Okay, objective is same. Okay, but the scope is different. So your scope is that you may take any small area, you complete your research, submit dissertation. If research process is good, you may get 100% marks. So, but if anybody is doing doctoral work, his scope is very, very high. So the problem he has taken, he has to solve all the issues in that area. If he is not able to solve any one of the issues, he may not be able to get the proper results. And ultimately, what solution he is providing, it may not be a best solution, because by lack of the research skill, he missed one of the very, very important aspect, one of the very important issue of the problem, and that was the real solution, and he missed out. For example, you are suffering from a pain in your stomach, and you went to a doctor, and then doctor has diagnosed that he is trying to find out one issue is that you eat too much because of the overeating, there is indigestion, so pain is there, or you are not eating at all, so there is gas formation, you are able to get the pain, or you have taken a kind of the infected food from the local shops, which was unhygienic food you have taken, you got infection. And there's also possibilities that it is a kind of a hereditary disease coming from your progeny, from your the fathers, forefathers, and it may be very serious disease. It has gone to at hereditary level in DNA, but doctor has not diagnosed to that level. He thought it is a very simple problem, and then he started giving the medicine. And after 6 months, he realized that there is no relief to the patient because the cause of disease was a a serious hereditary disease coming from the different these fathers and forefathers, and he has to go and do and solve that serious problem. It is not be getting relief by if he was eating less, he should eat properly. If he is teaching too much, he should now eat kind of the properly. And if he is taking always food from the local shops and all unhygienic, he should take now the clean, healthy, and proper food from the hygienic shops. But he has taken all the precautions, all the actions. He solved all these issues, but still problem of the pain is continuing because the doctor has missed out one of the very important issue that is coming from the hereditary character, hereditary disease. So objective was that he wanted to solve this problem of the pain, but scope was all possible kind of the factors which is causing the pain in the stomach. So if you are doing this research as a PhD scholar, you are not having any liberty to miss out any of the possible issues. So, but if you see that there are a lot of issues, then you have to filter down and reduce further scope of the research. So you focus on a very small area. So you can really solve all the issues. So as a PhD scholar, your scope is that you have to solve all the issues in that problem. But as a dissertation writer, as a LLM student, you have to filter out and find out one of the issues and solve the problem. The same problem can be done by a student of UG class. He has taken the topic as in a subject as a project work, small 10 marks project. Then in that case, we cannot expect the scope of a UG student doing a research on the same topic and the scope of the person who is doing PhD on the same topic cannot be same. The topic is different, objective is maybe same, but the scope is different because PhD wala scope is very high. He has to solve all the problems in that area, and then UG student doing a small project as a part of the subject. Then he has to showcase his skill to process the research, solving the problem by following the proper process. So this way, setting the scope is very important, and also once you're setting the objective and scope, time is also very important. How much time you are having in your hand, and if you are going to do funded projects, in a funded projects, the finance is also very important. So finance will decide the scope. So if you are getting suppose a funded project of 1 lakh rupees, then you have to plan your research accordingly. So you got one, you're going to get only 1 lakh rupees, and you are planning to do a global study or international study. You can't do, because money itself shows that the person who is funding you, he is not expecting too much data, too much analysis, too much solution. He want a very quick, very easy in a local solution, some problem. So he is going to fund you 1 lakh rupees. It's very clear from the funding that what is the scope. So deciding the objective and scope will depend on the timeline, how much time you are having. So if your time is, suppose for example, you got on 10 days, your office has told you there is a problem of the marketing research. We are losing very fast this product, and some competing company has come. He is capturing the market very fast. Can quickly tell us, just go and do a survey in 10 days and tell us that why our product is losing very fast the customer base, and we are losing our sale every day. It means that some competing company has come up and they're capturing our market, because the consumption of that material will be always the same. So if our share was 50%, and the last 2 months we have reduced to 30%, it means that 20% market somebody has captured. So you have to do research and find out very quickly in 10 days time. So your scope is very limited, because 10 days you have very limited scope to do the research and find out the solutions. So timeline is very important. Then funding is very important. Whether you do research as a UG, PG student, a doctoral student is very important. And then also it will depend on the kind of the domain, which domain you are doing. If you are doing the as a chemistry student, because if you go and see the chemical process, reactions will take a time. You cannot find that solution in one day. That's why the COVID-19 injection taking too much time, because it requires the human trial, animal trial, first animal trial, then human trial. Okay, then lot of approvals are required. So if you go and see the reactions, because the COVID-19, if you're going to do a research, you have to infect somebody by the actual coronavirus to some animal. Then you have to see the growth. It will take at least 15-20 days time to get proper infections. Then you start giving the medicines, then see how medicine is reacting, and then you cannot find in one day solution. Same way, the chemical reactions or medicines and all, it is very time taking. So you have no scope to solve in one day, 2 day. You have to wait. Your timeline is dependent on certain reactions, and reaction has a natural time period. You cannot reduce that particular reaction. Or somebody is suppose doing a research on the different crops, that how we can change the crops, how we can mix the crops, how we can get the fast or high yielding varieties. It will take too much time, because certain production will take place on certain temperature, pressure, humidity, soil conditions. Then you can cultivate the seed and find out the production. So you are doing research on seed. So you want to change the seed and see that whether seed is going to have the high yielding varieties or not. So you cannot get solution in one day, 10 day, or 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. It may take several years, because the kind of seed you want to cultivate, that will be generate, or it will be germinating only in particular temperature, pressure, humidity. So if a seed is depending on the very winter oriented kind of the condition, temperature should be 10 degrees centigrade, very less humidity, a very good light, no sunlight. So you have to wait for the winter. Winter will come, you will cultivate the seeds, and then winter will be the only for 4 months. In the 4 month, you got only one result. Now you want to repeat the results to experiment that whether it is can be a formula can be set up. Again, you have to wait one more year. Next year, winter will come, and then you can solve the problems. Okay. So this way, setting the objective, setting the scope will depend on your domain of research, depend on the timeline, depend that how you are doing as a student of the UG, PG, PhD, or doing as a funded research, and also you are what is the objective of this research? Whether objective is just to solve one problem, simple problem, or you want to eradicate this problem from the world. For example, currently WHO has having a lot of projects. So one project is that eradication of the malaria from the all over the world. So the group who was dealing about this eradication of the malaria from the world, their scope is very high. So they want to eradicate from all over the world. Nobody will get malaria. Malaria is caused by the mosquito. So first you have to remove the mosquito from the world. Okay. And then how to remove the mosquito from the world. And then next is that if anybody will get infected, you have a very ready-made good medicine. Immediately you inject the medicine, he will be okay. So scope is very high. Okay. So objective will scope will depend on different factors to decide. And then once you are able to set very good objectives, very streamlined objectives, and also your scope is very accurate, proper as per the required setup, you will be able to do a good research. Okay.